of our teams here. Number 2 right now on the scoreboard is Gen G. They do less damage and they get damaged less. They have their own ways to win the game. Very high KDA, but you'll notice that their damage is extremely low.
8th in damage per minute, 10th in damage taken per minute. What does that mean? Bloodless game. That means farming. That means Griffin in game 1 with Orianna. That means waiting for your moment. Your marksman has some big items, and they fight from there. That is the approach that Gen G will take. They will always try to avoid conflict, even though their last series against Africa was pretty bloody in the early games. I see you inspecting the Korean on the right there.
I'm trying to figure out what it is because it...
Getting our producer in our ears. Oh, number of unique picks is 41. Okay. So they have the least unique picks. They like what they like. Cuvée, Fly, Ruler. They've always played about 4 champions at once. Ambition, no different.
Let's go over here and take a look at KT Rolster. It says, if there are no late game mistakes, we can place higher. This is actually...
Zoe versus Galio is a very possible matchup, and if you really want the Galio, you can just blind pick it and say, well, if it's Zoe, I'm not too worried about it. KT say, maybe we'll pick Camille as well, and just go for the insta-lock and insta-pit comp on the red side.
Well, Galio Rakan is terrifying.
Yep.
If you're looking at that already, Gen G is thinking, okay, how are we going to avoid engage? And, well, how about Ezreal and Tom Kench?
They haven't had that duo available together in a really, really long time. This has been banned one or both for the longest time. They will take it on the blue side, but KT Rolster left open picks they were happy to leave open against Griffin. And even though tier list-wise, Griffin had a strong draft, they were unable to actually put those picks to use. We know that Gen G can play all these champions, but there should be no surprise to KT about what they've given open. So I'm interested to see what KT's dissemination of the draft is on red side. It seems like Xayah, Rakic here, Ambition, and Skora, 2 best Gragas players in Korea. And the blind pick is going to be top side. Smeb loves himself a blind pick Klepto GP, and this is going to be Cuvée going for the GP. Now, it could be also Fly on mid lane gangplank into the Galio matchup. That is something that Pawn did on KT Rolster in the past. But there is still the potential for ambiguity here, which I'm sure is not lost on KT. Smeb is undefeated on Jace this season so far, I believe 1-0 on the pick, 2-0, sorry. And he will actually take the Jace, saying, whatever matchup, I'm feeling good.
Definitely feeling good about this one. We'll see what he can do into the GP. Most likely going to be staying up in the top side. Man, this is going to be filled with fireworks. We saw the Galio and the Rakan on the side of KT, and we knew that they were going to have some kind of engage comp. They move away from the team fight 5v5 wombo combo, and they give themselves some other options at least.
Waiting to see how many swaps we see. Will it be the mid lane GP or the mid lane Swain? Probably going to be the Swain most likely, but there was always that threat of the GP not to be. And that means that Smeb, looking to double his wins to 2 on the Jace, is going to find a kind lane short of Ambition, really warping the 1v1 between the Jace and the GP.
Yeah, you were mentioning GPs that go Klepto, they go Sorcery, right? They just really get greedy up in the top side. We've seen it work when they have a lot of jungle attention.
So you're saying don't go greedy because it's Ambition?
Yes. you don't have a guy who's going to camp your top lane, Cuvée, so I would advise you, be a little bit careful. Yes. So even if you're going into a hard lane, Gangplank will always be there with the extra gold.
No Kleptomancy, no problem for Cuvée. Slow and steady. The Gen G playbook is mid lane.
Yeah, KT's not that kind of team. They're looking for the first blood, and they will get it easily. 4-on-1. Nobody was there to try to help him out. The Abyssal Voyage from Core JJ was a little bit late, and down goes Fly.
Nice set.
Thinking about an engage now. Ambition very tantalizing in the front line. Is going to get ulted up. And look at Mana just trying to zone him out, but the Devourer comes over the top. And the follow-up engage there is going to lock down the Sejuani. And Fly is in the back line zoning everybody out. Score trying to make the great escape down here to the bottom right, but it's not going to happen. They get the Rift Herald, and even though the engage was to the side of KT, Gen G win the fight.
It was a good start by KT, but Mana doesn't hit anyone with his ult, and they are...
After Flash flashing into that one. They pull in UCal. Not always the best idea, but it looks like KT want nothing to do with that fight, as even the flash away from the Galio. But then you can see the follow-up damage from Smeb is not that bad. Even so, Gen G gonna now turn onto the Cloud Tree.
Smeb's poking around. A lot of ults are down for Gen G. This could be a moment for KT.
Oh, really nice double taunt on there. And now it's CoreJJ who's flashing away. Oh boy, Cuvée gonna be caught in the back line. Does have that Sterix, and he's trying to go 1v3. He's gonna flash to safety after all of that, and it's gonna go over to the Xayah. Because why not? The smite's not gonna be there from either jungle. Looks like Ambition was a little bit early on that one. By the way, Cuvée still down here looking for a kill before he goes down, but no, scores and lives on the backside. Very nicely done by KT.
KT understanding that with Fly, with no ultimate, with the Gangplank already using GP.
Just, you know, walking through the river. And now it might be CoreJJ in a lot of trouble. Doesn't have the cleanse this time around. Mata is going to get the safety. And Ambition getting caught out. CoreJJ trying to save his life. And it looks like CoreJJ is the one to give his life.
And when the game turns, and oh boy, here we go.
Okay, the Devourer is gonna come in, but the flash taunt is there afterwards. Two members get caught up in the back line, but Fly is gonna get a good position to get his Zhonya's down. And the front line is there for Gen G. Although they're low, but Mata's gonna be picked off on the top side. Nice follow-up engage there from Ambition. And now they're following up onto Score here. And actually, they're going to go for Smeb, but down on the bottom side, Tom Kentz does go down. The re-engage is here. UCal going to get a taunt onto Ambition in the front line. Cuvée with a nice barrel and shot to the face, and Ruler, he is still safe, and it looks like the rest of KT, they cannot help out UCal. He does trade the kill back onto Ambition, but still, nice little fight there, going the way of Gen G.
Ambition going down means no Baron comes through, so at least for KT, that's a last bit of good news. They thought they had the Wombo engage, but they still don't have the damage to puncture through these insanely tanky frontliners. Ruler is so much safer than Deft. As Ezreal, as a champion, has a kit of safety. He has lifesteal. There is no lifesteal outside of the fleet footwork onto the Xayah. So just about getting over the line are KT in terms of just not being...
It's beginning to get really scary. He has finished his Seraph's Embrace out of nowhere, so he's going to have that gigantic shield on top of the armor. Gets the engage here onto the Ezreal. Tom Kentz gets low, but Ruler in the back line with that shield I was talking about, and Score with nowhere to go with the Cannon Barrage coming in. They're going to try to snipe him, and he does with that True Shot Barrage. Really nicely done. Gragas gets low, though, and Fly as well on the backside. So another 1-for-1 trade here on the Rift.
If there was no big lead before a moment like this, still an impossible game. They pulled off a very unlikely Game 1 victory against Griffin a few days ago to KT Rolster, but here, going for any engage.
Okay, Ruler decides, hey, take my life. I don't need it anymore, actually.
Okay.
One of the few mistakes we've seen out of him, actually. It's very rare that we're needing a couple of shots from Ruler now. The redemption is here, though. Onto someone, the engage. Now they find Ambition. So much CC coming in, and the last hit is going to do it with the Ignite ticking down. Mata will pick up the kill onto the jungler. Now Ruler poking forward. The Cannon Barrage does come in. Smeb got extremely low as well on the backside. But it looks like Gen G not able to find another pick. So KT the only one to get ahead there with one kill.
Smeb took a lot of free damage, but notice that he did take the inhibitor turret in the bot lane through all of the pandemonium in the mid lane. A big win for KT Rolster when it comes to map control. Don't have the most powerful Siege. Sounds like a crazy thing to say with Jace and a marksman, but the Jace does so much more work in the 4-1 than he does in any sort of 5-man Siege. So very smart to keep Jace in the bot lane. Gonna see the replay of all of this. Been so much posturing between both teams. Ambition, the king of posturing, is always about implying action, but not putting it out. But he makes a mistake. He walks up too many times. The first time, decent. The second time is what heralds his death. He walks up, continues to try to zone at this point, but this is as they already lost a turret, and Mata says thank you very much.
Again, don't really have to repeat myself, as that's about the 7th time the same engages happen. They get the double knockup now into the backline. Ruler gets so low, but here comes the guy in the backline. Smeb gets the crucial kill that he needed. Juve still doing damage. He's the next target, and he's going to go down too. There's nothing that Fly can do alone, and as well, Juve can't do anything. It looks like KT finally did it on the back of Mata, getting that perfect follow-up engage.
Sometimes you just win the game. Mata decided it's my time to shine. He did this with the taunt flash on to Griffin as well. This time it's on the Rakan. Nicely done. Ambition's going to try to stop the minions. Not going to be enough. This should be the game to the side of KT.
We're late enough now where the death timers are insane. 36 seconds on Ruler. They kill Ambition too, and it's only the Catfish trying to stop him. I can feel the excitement in the air already as it looks like KT Rolster is pushing in. They want to get these turrets, and it looks like they will. Still 20 seconds left available, and KT are going to take game number 1 in just over 50 minutes.
Not many teams can stare down Gen G in the late game and find a pick, but that is exactly what KT were able to do. They were able to out-team fight Griffin. Now they out-team fight Gen G. KT on their best day is a match for anyone in the world. We don't always see their best days, but these two teams come in today 3-0. And if God hand plays are what has to separate the two teams, there's a lot of match winners on the side of KT Rolster.
They looked good. It's exactly what I said. You know, they need to follow up after the Glacial Prison comes out of Sejuani and they get the Devour. And, well, Ruler and Core JJ, they're also to blame, right? They stayed in range of that perfect engage. Mata was right there, and he did not make a mistake that time.
And that's why it looked like it was the worst job ever for Score, but his job was get the Devour out by just randomly ulting someone. He gets the Devour out, and Mata says thank you very much and gets 3 people in the knock-up, and the game is over. So Score did his job. Hit anyone with the ult was the call. They do that, they get the Devour,